before the international window, we had a news that took over the headlines, and that was the fact that we had a referee by the name Kut. He was involved in a tirade against Liverpool coach and the Liverpool team, and further videos of Kut showed him snorting white powder, allegedly snorting white powder. Now, for the English FA must be decisive with the way they handle the coaches. There must be a system that penalizes with the way they handle their referees. The English FA must have a system in which they discipline their referees. There must be a point system, just the same way, I feel just the same way you have relegation for clubs. There must be a way referees who officiate in the lower leagues are promoted when they do well, and referees that perform poorly over the course of the season in the Premier League are relegated. Also, you can't tell me that you do drug testing for players, you do performance testing for players, and you don't do any tests whatsoever for the referees. The referees need to be tested to know those who are intoxicated during matches. Also, going into the international break, I would speak about Nigeria. Consistently, I've spoken about the fact that the Nigerian team needs a coach. I'm an advocate for a foreign coach. I would say this. I'm an advocate for a foreign coach. I don't believe that the present crop of coaches can get us that far. It's a stopgap for me. What they are doing is a stopgap. And, the Nigerian team, the performance over these two matches was very poor. The first match, we had a draw. And we're just able to squeeze out a draw. And for the second match, it wasn't as if we just lost the match. We were practically outplayed in the match, and this is not just an Egypt outplaying us or a Senegal outplaying us. This was a low-ranked team outplaying the Super Eagles. Not anywhere, right here in Nigeria, we were outplayed. And Victor Boniface, I want to believe it's a tactical issue, because Victor Boniface performs better in his club. So I just want to believe it's a tactical issue. But over a series of matches, not just this coach, he has performed poorly. He needs to buckle up. Also, for the international window, we had Libya pop up again. For those of you who don't know, Libya played Benin Republic, and Libya went to Angola. Libya went for an away match, and when they got to their host country, they started the gimmicks. They were talking about being not entertained well and all that. Not Angola, they didn't play Angola. They were talking about not being entertained, not being taken care of, and fortunately they won their match 1-0. Now, Benin went for their match, and almost the same thing, very poor hosting and all that, happened again in Libya. I would say that the CAF must have something decisive being done to Libya. The Libya team cannot continue. Libya, for starters, is a country that is war-torn. You can have a war-torn. We have about three governments in Libya. I think about 2 or 3 governments in Libya. You have a situation whereby countries fly in to play a match. What if, in the process of flying in, their planes are taken over by the rival government? There must be something done for as regards Libya. Probably a suspended situation for Libya. After a couple of years, they come back into the competition. Something decisive has to be done about Libya. Now to the foreign scene. I was going through the Euro Cup. That's the Nations League, the UEFA Nations League, and one of the matches that caught my attention was the Sweden match, the last Sweden match, where Gyökeres is called 4 goals. He appears to be very prolific. He appears to be having his day in front of goal. Well, a lot of teams are, queuing up for him. I'm not one to, because I watched his goals, and I've been, following him because Chelsea has, showed interest in the past. I've been following him, and I don't see that, despite the fact that, there are times a striker needs luck. For instance, you have Haaland. That luck has been there over time, and the Haaland of this period, that is the past couple of matches, is what isn't going for him has been luck. So in the case of Gyökeres, the luck is going well for him. He shoots, he scores, but I don't see him. I don't see him in the Chelsea team. I don't see him doing well, as being prolific as he has been in England. England is a physical game, and he's played in England, and he didn't do well by playing in England. So I don't see him doing well in England. Also, one of the news that caught the attention of the international scene was the suspension of the Argentine player Bentancur for racist slur. A lot of people, spoke about the fact that it was a heavy sentence. Probably yes, it was an irresponsible act from Bentancur. There are certain things that might have been seen as a joke shouldn't come up online, shouldn't come up on media. You don't, make certain gestures that, depict racism. It's an international, it's an international scene out there. You must act responsible as a player, and I hope Tottenham are successful in their appeal. But all the same, players must learn. This keeps happening every time. People talked about the Chelsea player Enzo Fernandez. I don't give excuses for Enzo Fernandez as well. That it happened in the past against Argentina, and that was not, the France team talking against Argentina does not, not the France, I think that's the German team, does not warrant or does not mean Enzo Fernandez and the team would speak the way they or sing, that song that they did sing. That needs to be nipped in the bud. Whichever fancy tickles your fancy, just on the comment section, you just respond to the numerous items that we discussed today. So don't forget to share, don't forget to like, and don't forget to hit the notification bell.